Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Khalid Munir, and today we have a very special guest. Joining us today is David Messina, a seasoned business professional and with a strong background in real estate, finance, and consulting. He's a branch manager and assistant vice president of Regions Bank right here in Orlando. With over 17 years of experience in the US, David has helped businesses grow through smart financial strategies, leadership, and operational excellence. If you ever wondered or thought how to make a smart investment or buy your first commercial property with the right financing, this episode is definitely for you. David, welcome to our program.
Thanks for having me, Khalid. It's a pleasure being here.
Can you explain what SBA is a great option?
Absolutely. So, SBA, as known as Small Business Administration Loans, is really an important tool for companies looking for loans for funding. The greatest thing about the SBA loan, Khalid, is the fact that business owners have access to an easier route to access funds and also have the stability because the SBA loan is granted by the government. It makes a lot easier for entrepreneurs, startups, companies.
What makes a strong SBA application, and what do you look for when approving the client?
That's a great question, Khalid. A strong application is always made when you have a solid finance information. So tax returns are important. The finances, balance sheet, all the information combined is important when you make an application. And ultimately, you can prove that you have the means to pay back the loan. I would say the sooner you can get all the documentation together, the better, because it takes sometimes if you work along with your accountant, with your CPA. So the more solid is your documentation when it comes to your finances, the easiest and fastest will be the process to get it approved.
How do the SBA loans compare to the traditional bank lending bank loans? And in what situation would you recommend SBA loans compared to the other traditional forms of lending?
Perfect. So the basic difference is the fact that the SBA loan, the Small Business Administration loan, are backed by the government. That said, for the banks, the risk is much lower. So it's easier for an applicant, a business owner, to get the SBA loan than a regular traditional loan because, again, it's backed by the government. The government can guarantee up to 80% of the amount that is.
And looking at so many applications for the SBA loan, David, what are the most common mistakes the applicants make, and how can they avoid them?
Good question as well. So I would say one of the most common problems we face when it comes to applications is the fact that the person knows how much they need, but they don't have yet the documentation, or the documents to support their request. So it's important to know how much you need. It's important to know why do you need that amount, and you can break down in details the purpose, the use of the loan. So the most common mistake, answer your question, Khalid, is the fact that sometimes the applicants don't have all the information together. They have a plan, but it's not a detailed plan. It's like that saying, it's better to have a better plan than no plan at all, right? So
Right.
I always suggest the business owners, the applicants, to do some homework, get prepared in advance, because when it comes to an application, we can save a lot of time.
Can you give us a practical example of an SBA application which you recently dealt with, which you successfully completed, and they got the loan?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
There is an example, for example, of a medical clinic. It was a doctor, a practice, very successful one, and he was looking to expand his business.
Mhm.
So why should he use his own money when he can have access to SBA loans and utilize his money for something else? So we did an application. The process was smooth. Took 45 days from the beginning to the end, to the funding moment. And the great thing about it is the fact that in his case, his CPA did a very good homework. All information was prepared. We made
Great.
the application. He was approved in 1 month and a half, and he was able to fund his expansion for his business. And now he's looking for another one, which is a great piece of information. You can have as many as SBA as you qualify for, helping
Right.
you to succeed in your business.
So I take it there's no limit to how many SBA loans one can have. Are there any other qualifications? For example, you have to be a a US citizen, you resident, any of those come into play?
That's a great question, Khalid.
Mm.
Recently, the new administration made some change with the SBA approval process. And in fact, now we need to have residents or US citizens as owners of the company to be approved for the SBA loan.
So basically, today we've learned that the SBA loans can be a great tool for financing commercial real estate, when what banks look for in your application, and how to avoid the common mistakes. David, thank you so much for sharing your expertise today with us, and we look forward to having you again on the program in the future.
It was a pleasure,
Mhm.
Khalid. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in. If you want to learn more about real estate, SBA loans, or financing, please make sure that you tune in and subscribe to us. So we'll see you next time.